Hey guys, Kevin here, coming from Japan, and I wanted to talk about something that I'm also going to ask for the opinions and viewpoints of people out there who've also lived in Japan or worked in Japan about this, and know more about Japanese culture than I do, because, I've only been here for 5 years, and that's really not a lot. But I want to talk about something that can be really frustrating if you're not Japanese and you come and you work here in Japan. And it's a cultural difference. But Japan is it's a culture of meetings. If you work in Japan, meetings are something you will face more than you ever did if you're from a Western country. At least from my experience, and from what I've heard, the experience of many other people who work in different fields. Now, you could almost say that it seems like people just love to have meetings, and they don't need a reason to have a meeting. They just have meetings for the sake of having meetings. Now, people out there can correct me if I'm wrong on this, because there's a good chance I could be. But from what I've heard is that meetings are seen as a way of building relationships between people. And in Japanese culture, that's very important to build kind of solid bonds and relationships between coworkers. So the actual content of the meeting, or even if there is content or a need or lack of content, whatever it may be, isn't so much the important thing, but the actual meeting of people and, again, bonding, listening to each other's opinions, and, again, forming a relationship. Now, where this gets really frustrating is that if you're working, even if you're working as a teacher at a school, if you come from Canada or America or the UK or Australia, we have a saying, time is money. You want to work fast and efficiently, get the job done, and finish. And then you can move on to other things, right? It's also a matter of, too, like, why people don't like staying late at work, from Western culture. If you get the work done, say, for example, your shift is from 9 to 5. 5 o'clock, the work is done, you leave. It's over. You go home. But in Japan, even if your work is done, you may just stay late for the sake of staying late, because you don't want people to think you're lazy by leaving on time. So, for example, I can think of some experiences that I've had over the last few years where it's like the first days of school and there's no students, and I've got just a crush of things to do to prepare my classroom for school and get things ready, yet the, how shall I say, indigenous staff want to have meetings and meetings and meetings, and you find yourself, the non-Japanese staff, getting very frustrated because, for example, maybe they've got lots of work they need to do in their classroom, organizing things, getting activities ready, just a lot of work to get their class ready, yet you find yourself stuck in meetings that last hours that really have nothing to do with you and don't have anything to do with you at all, but you got to sit through it. And then 5 o'clock rolls around and you've prepared nothing in your classroom, and the meetings are over, and then maybe the Japanese staff will then happily go on and stay really late preparing things that they could have been preparing during the day, but now that the clock is punched and it's time to go home, they will stay late and do it, and then you're frustrated because you don't want to stay late, because you're from a culture where people try not to stay late at work, and then all this work you could have gotten done, you didn't get done because of meetings. So I don't know. It's. Let me know what you. I mean, that's from my experience. And if you say, I've heard so many other foreigners in Japan say the same thing, make the same comments, the same complaints, have the same frustrations. So for those of you out there who live in Japan or have lived in Japan, work in industries aside from education, and what do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with me? If not, that's fine. And can you tell me about some experiences you've had? Have you been frustrated by this meeting culture of meetings? I know I have. All right, guys. Take care. Kevin here in Japan, and I see you later. And if you like the video, click that like button below, guys. I always appreciate that. All right. See ya.